Hello, good evening. Coming up tonight on Business Live, pressure mounts on National Petroleum Authority to immediately address fuel quality concerns from Sentuo Oil Refinery as the Association of Oil Marketing Companies fears that could affect confidence in the sector. Meanwhile, the Institute for Energy Security calls for stiffer punishment for Sentuo Oil Refinery for supplying fuel that did not meet the regulator's specification.
We want to see a stiffer punishment, and so that lies at the ambit of the NPA, but we think that suspend the license is not enough. It must be stiffer than what we are seeing today.
Tonight we are live with the regulator and some players in the industry. Also in this bulletin, Ghana exits World Bank's list of 10 countries in the world with the highest food inflation after significant reduction in the consumer price index over past 6 months locally. Plus, addressing the challenge of access to finance for micro, small and medium enterprises, we will tell you about the launch of a project spearheaded by the Central Bank.
I am extremely excited that one of the key objectives of this project is to explore which fintech innovations work and how they can be scaled up to ensure growth of MSMEs.
We have details of these and many others lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka, and tonight we're going to be heavy on Sentuo Oil Refinery and its related matters. And the Association of Oil Marketing Companies has asked the National Petroleum Authority to address issues concerning the quality of some petroleum products supplied by Sentuo Oil Refinery. According to the association, many oil marketing companies have raised alarm about the quality of some products from the oil refinery company. Now, they explain that the complaints situate the inability of their petroleum service stations pumps to efficiently dispense Sentuo products, as well as other quality issues, resulting in a significant number of customer complaints since 1st February 2024. A statement issued by the group stressed that the reliability and quality of petroleum products are of utmost importance to the oil industry and consumers. And Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, Kweku Ajimandua, will pretty soon join us via Zoom for more on that. And I'm told we'll get to speak to the head of quality control at the National Petroleum Authority, Ubaida Sahid, for more on this. Thanks so much, sir, for your time here on Business Live. Now, following the statement issued by the two energy think tanks, we have also seen this letter by the oil marketing companies. And it appears this is more serious than we initially thought.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. And thank you to all your listeners and viewers. I think the issue already started some weeks when we uncovered that there was some discrepancy in the testing that we conducted as our normal monitoring process. And we found that there was some disparity in the values we had compared to what was sent to us. Subsequently, we suspended the sale of that particular product. And we have to find out whether it affected some stations. Yes, indeed, it affected some stations, but some stations were selling normal and there were no issues. And it's also because the issue has to do with the vapor pressure of the petrol. It's temperature dependent, so it depends on the temperature of where the product is, and also the amount of previous product that was present before the addition of this new product. So there were a number of the stations who took the fuel consignment, the petrol, and yet they have not experienced any problem and they are selling well. So I wouldn't say that. I would say that to a large extent the issue is under control, because we have held meetings with Sentuo Refinery, and where it is necessary, where any of the AOMC have brought it to our attention and there is the need, we have evacuated the product back to the refinery to be corrected.
I see. Get us some clarity on this issue. Has the National Petroleum Authority just withdrawn approval given to Sentuo for a product, or there are plans to stop it from selling finished petroleum products?
We must understand that this is just a particular batch of petrol. So it's not all the product. They are currently selling diesel. There's no problem with the diesel and other parameters coming from the refinery. This is a very complex refinery than what we have dealt with in the past in Ghana here, be it Sentuo Oil Refinery, Platin, or Akwaba. So sometimes we are in, I would say, new areas and certain things that we anticipate will not happen. And we have always responded quickly to bring the situation under control.
Now, the oil marketing... all right. Maybe you want to finish up your point.
Yeah, so I was saying that it is a particular batch in a tank that we have that issue. Other than that, we have been monitoring. And like I said, the diesel has been very good, very low sulfur, and it's not having any problem since they started production.
All right. So I want a clarification from you on this as well. Oil marketing companies have made several requests for you to act on them. Are you going to respond to their concerns, especially the likes of the Institute of Energy Security calling for tougher sanctions against Sentuo? It seems we've lost Saheed on the line, as and when he comes on, he will respond to us on that subject matter. But we've got to stay a while longer on this, and also let you know that we've been joined via Zoom Michael Buzumbil, the Chief Executive Officer of Petro, so one of the OMCs. Thanks so much for your time. Now, as a player in the industry, what really do you make of this development?
Thank you very much. I think I'm happy that is taking action on this. What I would say is we have to work together. The bottom line is the consumer's interest must be protected. We're in this business to ensure that we deliver quality petroleum products to the market. The refinery too has invested heavily. This investment has been made with a view to delivering quality. Yes, this is a test run error. And so if there are some errors in the system, the refinery should quickly take the necessary steps to rectify. I believe that nothing should be done to compromise the quality of the products for the consumer. And we have to work together. We need a refinery, but also the consumer also requires quality products. I mean, some of us have decided that for that spec of petrol, we are not buying it because we do not want our consumers to suffer the consequences of bad products.
Too bad it seems we've lost Michael Buzumbil as well, internet challenges. I'm told Michael is back, Saheed Ubaidala, to speak to us on the issue I asked him about. And thanks so much, sir, for coming back to us. Now, I asked earlier, there's been concerns about tougher punishment and sanctions against Sentuo, and I'm asking whether you will consider that. Unmute for me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Sahid, go ahead.
Yes. Management is still considering the issue.
Rather unfortunate, Sahid line has frozen again. Michael, you are back. So you were making a point, Michael.
I was making a point that we should work together and ensure that the consumer receives quality. Because in as much as it is a refinery in Ghana and we are committed to promoting its work, we want to work with the refinery and make sure it produces products that meet our specifications, because some of us, we have invested in brands. We believe in delivering quality to our consumers. And so we will not compromise, to buy products of low quality just because it is refined in Ghana. But we also love to patronize a Ghanaian refinery. And as I indicated earlier, when we did the checks on the diesel and we noticed that the quality was good, we did not hesitate to buy from them. But for the gasoline, that is the petrol, which we have issues with. And I'm speaking for Petrosol. We have decided to refrain from buying the petrol, from the refinery. And I'm just saying that whatever the issues are, we want to entreat the refinery to, try and rectify.
Seems the internet isn't favoring us this time round at all. We just heard Michael speak to us on some of the challenges they are facing as a result of buying products from Sentuo Oil Refinery. All right, so I've got to try Sahid once more and see whether this time round the connection is better. Sahid, if you are on, if you can make that quick comment for me on the part of the sanctions to Sentuo.
Yes. Yes, I wanted to make the point that Michael landed. Like he also alluded that the diesel so far is very good than we even expected. I have dealt with refineries for over 10 years, and I realized that, especially when you are starting up, even when it's an existing refinery and it's working and shut down and restart, it always have challenges, particularly with the petrol. So we as a regulator, we are doing everything possible to ensure that we have the required quality on the market. On Monday, we had a meeting with Sentuo, and we have enumerated some of the things that are measures that we have put in place to ensure this doesn't happen again. But they said is some of the issue, as I indicated earlier, we are in a new, experience, and some of the things that it has been challenging, but I'm sure we'll overcome. In respect of the sanctions, like I said, it's an issue that management have not completed with. We are still looking at which AOMCs are affected and what extent. And all these things feed into the decisions that management will take at the end of the day. So we have not completed the total issue at stake. Yes, we have stopped the sale of it, yet some people are still having some consignment. And until we put the whole picture into play, management will not be in the position to conclude and take a final decision.
A quick one on the compensation bit. So to those that this consignment have had impact on their vehicles or consumption, basically, what becomes of them? Any arrangement for them?
So far, I have to indicate that the problem mainly is about the ability of the stations to pump. So it is the vapor pressure that was a bit higher than the required. Some stations have commingled it with other products, and because of that, they didn't experience problems. And I'm not aware of vehicles, the fact that it will have some effect on vehicles. So until we complete all these issues and know what exactly or the extent of effect, we'll not be able to say. But from where I sit, I don't think it will have any major impact on usage to individual vehicles.
Very well. Thank you very much, Ibeidala Saheed, Head of Quality Control at the National Petroleum Authority, speaking to us there. So watching Business Live. Meanwhile, the Institute for Energy Security is calling for stiffer punishment.
We've seen some oil marketing companies that didn't abide by the rules. Apart from some revocation of license, others were charged. We want to see a stiffer punishment. And so that lies at the ambit of the NPA, but we think that suspended license is not enough. It must be stiffer than what we are seeing today. The NPA still have the mandate to regulate and monitor activities within the downstream sector, and you can only perform activity within the space if you are permitted and if you are licensed. We want, going forward, NPA must publish all licenses issued to petroleum service providers, be it a storage facility, an oil marketing company, a refinery. If this is made public, available on their own websites, as somebody that deals with Sentuo has that form of assurance because they can attest that this is the license given to Sentuo with this number. So let's see some, publication of this license and permits. It gives that assurance to investors and other stakeholders. The Ghana Standard Authority is the body mandated to set standards for our products and services and ensure that we comply by the same standard that is set. And so if we are getting a product that is at par, deviates from what the standard is, then of course we can call on Ghana Standard Authority to also speak to this issue. Did they get a quality certificate from Sentuo attesting to the product that this is the kind of sulfur, this is the kind of viscosity we have? If they fail to do this and watched on for this product to come onto the market, then of course they didn't do well in their work. They must ensure together with the NPA that we don't have these incidents playing out. Other than that, we might be compelled to seek redress from the law court.
You're still watching Business Live with me, Pius Kojo Baka. More after this break. And welcome back to Business Live. Ghana has now gotten out of the World Bank's list of top 10 countries in the world with the highest food inflation rate. This was contained in the latest World Bank Food Security Report. George Yafe has the rest of the story.
Ghana's improvement in the World Bank rankings can be linked to some significant progress made when it comes to foodstuffs and farm produce supply onto the market, which has gone a long way to improve the country's food inflation situation and prices on the market. The Ghana Statistical Service data showed that a major driver of inflation over the last 2 months is non-food inflation rate, like housing, rent, and clothing. Ghana, over the past 2 years, had featured prominently in this report put out by the World Bank. But now it appears that changes at the local level is impacting positively on how Ghana is ranked when it comes to the global look of countries with high food inflation. For some, this could send signals to investors that measures are being taken locally to reduce inflation rate despite the recent spike. Bank of Ghana has projected that inflation could end the year at around 15%. However, it doesn't rule out some spikes in the coming months before it depreciates to that level by the end of this year. One is also not sure about the fact that whether we've been able to store enough from the harvest season last year, and how that could impact on food supply in the coming months, and how that could also impact on the broader food inflation for this year.
Let's have a discussion on the back of this and go live on the phone and engage Dr. Edward Kariwe, the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union. Thanks so much, sir, for joining us here on Business Live. Now, we know that food inflation has been an issue in Ghana for some time now. How do you receive this report from the World Bank indicating that Ghana is out of the 10 countries with the highest food inflation?
You and then those who are listening to it. I think that I mean, this is a mixed feeling. This is good news to the extent that we are no more among the top 10 in the world with the highest food inflation. But this again does not also mean that we don't have a very high food inflation in the country. The only thing is, according to ranking, we are not among the 10. But even if we are 11, we are 12, we are 15. I mean, we are still having a very high food inflation in the country.
And I would like you to speak up a bit for me. From where you sit, do you think cost of food will get better anytime soon?
Well, price of food will not get better anytime soon because if you look at the country as a whole, we are entering into, or we are already in the lean season of our production season. Our production cycle, this is a lean season. You know, no part of the country that we are experiencing harvesting of foodstuffs, particularly the major staples. If you look at maize, nowhere in the country that we are harvesting maize at this time. You are talking about rice, unless some rice in the irrigation areas. Otherwise, generally speaking, throughout the country, there are low rains, and then this is also the time that the southern part of the country will begin to prepare their farms for the major season. So this is the lean season. All foodstuffs that we are eating now is a stock from last year. So we don't expect food prices to come down now. We expect that by the middle of March to the end of March, food prices will go up and they will stay high like that until we begin to harvest around June, July in the southern part of the country.
Dr. Edward Kariwe, thank you so much for speaking to us here on Business Live, who is the Executive Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, speaking to us there. Finally, before we go, access to credit by micro, small and medium enterprises is a major challenge in Ghana. However, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari, believes the use of financial technology and other digital tools are critical in enhancing access to finance for micro, small and medium enterprises, thereby bridging the gap. He spoke at the launch of the MSME Innovative Financing Project in Accra. Here's more.
The fintech ecosystem remains a critical aspect of Ghana's financial sector. However, most micro, small and medium-scale enterprises struggle to access financial products to expand their operations. Speaking at the launch of the MSME Innovative Financing Project, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari, believes this project will inform the central bank to provide the needed regulatory framework to support MSMEs.
As a central bank, though price stability remains our primary mandate under the inflation targeting framework, economic growth through credit expansion is also key concern to us, and that is why a major consideration is given to the impact of our policies on the real sector. For instance, much of the reforms that have been initiated within the banking sector in Ghana have been geared towards creating sound, stable, well-capitalized and profitable institutions capable of supporting the real sector and economic growth through increased lending. I am extremely excited that one of the key objectives of this project is to explore which fintech innovations work and how they can be scaled up to ensure growth of MSMEs. My excitement stems from the fact that innovations through fintech remain top on the agenda for the Bank of Ghana, and that is why a lot has gone into developing the regulatory framework and providing the conducive environment for innovation by players. Results from this study will inform us, the regulator, on other ways in which fintechs can be used to channel resources from surplus spending to deficit financing units in the economy, especially MSMEs.
The project coordinator and principal investigator, Professor Eric Osei Asibe, highlighted the major challenge confronting MSMEs.
Especially around this time where there's tighter economic conditions, financing conditions, where the banks are rebalancing their books, and somehow not unwilling to provide finance to sectors that are seen as highly risky, right? And so we thought that with the emergence of technology, with the digital transformation that is currently ongoing, and with the financial technology, perhaps we can leverage it to provide more innovative and sustainable financing to this sector. Some banks have started deploying technology and fintech, but there's very limited evidence, right, the extent to which this is impacting on SME financing. So this study primarily is being done to sort of gauge and better understand the gap that exists within the SME financing structure.
The MSME Innovative Financing Project is a collaborative project by the Bank of Ghana, the University of Ghana Business School, and the Development Bank Ghana to help bridge the financing gap for businesses across the country.
And that's all for Business Life. I am Pius Kojobaka. See you same time tomorrow. Bye.